Hello, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I have been really happy that Anna is coming to be with us again, and she has taught at many places around the globe and visited Colorado several times. So today Anna is going to share some of her experience about working with dreams in homeopathic treatment. And if you would like to see a little bit more about Anna's publication and more information about her, you can go to anneschadde.de, very simple website, anneschadde.de. And some of it is in German, but you can translate into English these days. So, Anne, I wondered if there's welcome and thank you for your time with us again. And if you wanted to start and tell us a little bit more about you and dreams and things.
Thank you for inviting me, Barbara, and welcome all of you. I can't see everybody, but some of you I can see here, So what a beautiful time that we can share information via the whole globe, I like this. I'm a Gemini, by my son is a Gemini, so I like communication, talking to people, being together with the rest of the world, not being in my own shell, but somewhere out in the world. So Barbara asked me to talk about dreams in homeopathy. I am a homeopath from almost 40 years. I'm working for more years and years and years with patients. But first, let's talk about what is a dream. A dream comes from the unconscious and tells something. And we want to understand as homeopaths what is the meaning of a dream. But you can't interpret a dream without the patient and without the whole story of the patient. This is what I often see, what I always see. That's why it is difficult to translate a dream into repertory. We all have in repertory the dream rubrics, but a dream of a patient to transfer into the dream of repertory, this doesn't work. Because every dream of every patient is something very special. And it explains something from the story of the patient. And most of it from the trauma in every patient. Because the dream will open up something for the patient to understand. In the last years, more 10, 20 years, I tend to understand, when I listen to the dream, what the patient is telling me, I try to integrate this into the whole story. Seeing what is the whole story about? Where did it begin? Barbara, remember, I called it the red line going through a case. Yeah, or a thread.
The red thread that goes through the whole case, yes.
So, and the dream is part of this thread. The dream is part of it. It is not the complete explanation of the case, but it tells you a little bit. And we as homeopaths have to try to understand this. This is what I always do in every cases. That when a patient comes, I just tell you how I experience this over all these years. I mean, I'm now 78, I'm almost 80. In 2 years, I will be 80. Yeah. Listening for almost 40 years to patient stories from morning to night. It's like you What I can tell you is only my experience. I'm sitting there and waiting. Patient comes in and begins with a story. It's like a new universe is open up. What is this universe? Where is the patient? The first message I give is, I am not a healer. Why am I not a healer? Because I'm not a healer who heals through me. The healer is in the patient himself. Only the patient's healer can heal the patient. But I am the one who listens, and I search for a homeopathic remedy out there in the universe. What is similar to the patient's story, to the patient's problems. And if I can find this energy will come to the healer of the patient and help the patient to get better in his life. If we believe we will be the healer, we will go finally in burnout and say, oh, we don't want to have all this, we don't want to have this burden anymore. So, and in this way, it is interesting to understand the whole story of the patient. It only interests us. And on this line, there is a dream, there is a story, there is a trauma, there is a mother, there is a father, there is a family background, there is the profession, the job, there is everything. But as Hahnemann says, and this is very important, we have to understand what is the undoubtable morbid in the case, what is the undoubtable disease in the case, the undoubtable problem. It means we have to recognize this. We can't translate everything. We can't translate every dream in a remedy.
Oh, Anne, the microphone is off. You just said that you can't translate everything into the repertory, and that's the last we heard.
You have to understand first the whole story. And not always in the beginning, you know, as a patient, they come for years and continue talking the story, you know, and you guide them. I don't know, I remember when I first came to Colorado, was in 1998, or when was this? 90, you know, when we had this idea with
the first time I think you came in 1992.
Okay.
And then again, a couple of years later. And
yeah. But one day, remember, I said, you know, I am a homeopath, a female homeopath. It means I am carrying patients through their life, like you do when somebody has to grow in you. So I'm not solving their problems. So I can't, and I don't want to. Because if I overtake patients' problems, then I will be left over with it. No. But I can only carry them, help them to carry their life through. And sometimes they need me longer than one time. I mean, it's a delusion in homeopathy that if you get the wrong remedy, you will be happily live forever after. It can happen. But it has something to do with the patient. It has nothing to do with us. Because if the healer of the patient is ready to get the message, ready to be cured, we will find the right remedy for this moment. As Hahnemann says in paragraph 9 of the Organon, in the healthy condition, It means a condition means the moment. He's not saying the patient will be healthy forever after. He's saying in the moment, in this moment, and we homeopaths, we guide the patient in the moment. We guide them to their own inner story, to their own understanding of a story. Before we will talk about dreams, just what just comes to me. For a couple of weeks ago, a woman came. She had lost her husband. Husband died. She's in the end of the 50s, so he died too young from cancer. So, and she said, I can't work anymore. I'm completely depressed. I miss him so much, and it's so, oh yeah, and I can only cry the whole day. Yeah, I can't walk. I can't walk. Can't do anything in my life anymore. I'm completely exhausted. So, what to do? What to do? So, what to do? What would you give? Tell me, what would you give? Weak, exhausted after the death of the husband. What is the remedy you of
The remedy.
huh? Any idea?
Phosphoric acid is
Phosphoric acid. Good idea. Yeah, okay. Good idea.
First on the line.
Yeah. Or what else? What else? Another suggestion, please. Exhaustion. Yeah. Oh. Causticum. Causticum is one of the remedies I give often in those kind. You know what is causticum? Hahnemann. Causticum is an alchemistic potentized remedy. Hahnemann was a pharmacist, yeah, and he has some alchemistic triturized remedies, produced remedies. And this alchemistic process is a process, because when you want to process patients, you have to use a remedy which is processed. You know what I mean? I have to process her through this life stage. Can you, are you with me? Understand what I'm saying? Processing means, not, you said no. It means she is stuck somewhere. And I want her to move out of it. I mean, with processing, For that, I use a remedy which is already done in a process of, Hahnemann, what Hahnemann did very difficult with causticum, and put it somewhere and water dilute it and put it and burn it, etc. So causticum is in a way a very good remedy when you want to process something, push something forward, get something out of it. So I gave her causticum LM8. Why LM8? Because LM8 is the M is has something to do with M potency, but it is softer. So, and she can take it day by day, because in order to get something out of it, you can't push him out, or her, in this way it was a woman, you have to get her slowly out of the process. 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later, she called me. She said, this is not the right remedy. This is the wrong remedy. Okay, I said, what happened to you? I mean, I have to admit, in the beginning, the husband was an angel, She lost an angel. Okay, I can't say anything to this. It was an angel. So she called me, this remedy is not right. My fingers are swollen. Okay, tell me about the swollen fingers. He said, actually, it's only one finger which is swollen. Which finger? The ring finger here. Of which hand? I said, of the right hand. I said, now you come. Please come. And she said, oh, yeah. I said, do you know what the right finger is? Is this in America too? That when you marry, that you get a ring on the right hand?
It's the other hand. You get it on the left.
Yeah, here, this is my right hand. You put it in the left hand. In America, you marry on the left hand. We German marry on the right hand. So I said, now you tell me the truth about your husband. She said, yes. 10 years ago, he had a side affair and he wanted to leave me. But finally, he stayed with me. And I said, and he finally left you. Oh, wow. She began to weep. This is how you carry patients through it, you know? Because this is the truth. In that moment, her healer, you know, because as I said before, I can't heal the patient. I will talk to her soul, because the soul will tell her. Suddenly, the soul understood. You know? And she said, which remedy? I said, you continue with causticum, but now I give you LM12. So, I mean, in order to process this true, to walk it through, to walk with it, it will come, you know? She is getting now better. Her weeping disappeared, her story, because all of a sudden she understood something, even if it was hard to understand. Homeopathy is a treatment to bring something in order, to push something, to bring something forward.
So you mean she finally understood that he wasn't that angel, right?
No.
She saw the truth.
Yeah, she saw the truth. Because everything else is an illusion. The illusion in life. And with the delusion, you can go on in life. You can destroy yourself, because behind the delusion is the soul waiting for it, that it has to get in order. And sometimes dreams tell you, ha 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 ha, go on. Are you with me? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did she have some kind of a dream, or how did
No.
you get there? No.
She dreamt of him. Yes, she dreamt only of him, but he was perfect in the dreams.
Ah.
Could I ask a quick question, or would you like me to save it?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Uh, are you saying that the dream can manifest the stuckness and not the way out?
Can for
It
sure.
can be one or the other. It doesn't necessarily mean this is it's not a prescient or clairvoyant necessarily. Okay.
Because the dream reflects, you know how it is in dreams. In dreams, you dream something, and it has something to do with the reality too. Okay? It has some, you know, when I dream something, no, then I can see sometimes, oh, yesterday I found this in my cupboard. Yeah, okay, that's why I dreamt of it. Yeah? But the dream can have a double meaning. You know, in her delusion was, this is, yeah, everything is perfect with my husband. But the physical body, you know, is very clear. The physical body expresses it. Yeah, they say if the dream is not telling us, the physical body is going to tell us.
Thank you. That's very helpful. The body never lies.
No, the body never lies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is so important to understand. I mean, I was guided through a dream to come into homeopathy. This was a dream told me. I'm always listening to my dreams.
And the dream, yeah, do you want to tell that dream again?
Yeah. It was not my dream, it was
No,
a
no.
dream.
Yeah. No, I meant when you said you came to homeopathy through a dream.
To a dream, right.
Yes.
Right. You know, I was a teacher in secondary school, and I don't know who has heard this dream already. Is there somebody who knows it? Yeah, yes, you.
Yeah,
But all
some
the
people,
others,
not all of them.
not all of them. And I was a teacher there, and I got 1 year, I got a student in a class. You know, everybody told me this is a terrible student, angry, you know, is always doing something bad, etc. You know, disturbing the classroom, making no homework, you know, refusing everything what you want him to do. And by that time, I mean, imagine 40 years ago, no, more than 40 years ago, I was young and energetic in the beginning of the 30s, you know. Yeah. And I said to this guy, you know, he did the same, kicking with little tiny papers, etc., you know, disturbing the whole class. I said, okay, now you come, sit here. I will send the letter to your parents. We call it Verweis in Germany. You get a paper from school. I mean, this means something. And he said, okay, if you do this, my father is going to kill me. Oh, no, I said, no, I don't want your father to kill you. You tell me about your life story. And he began, you know, as we do this by that time, I had no clue about homeopathy. He told me about his life. He began to tell me how about his upbringing, what was the situation of the family, terrible situation. They lived in 2 rooms. The father was sleeping in the night in daytime because he was a night worker. In the other room, they had only 1 room with 3 children and mother. Mother was cooking there. And he said, I don't know where to do my homework. I don't know where to learn. I have no idea what to do in my life. Oh, I said, you know, I have a good idea. Around the corner, there was a library, you know, for students, a library. So you you get this kind of ticket for the library for 1 year, and you go there and you go into this library. You go home for lunch, then you go into the library, and there you study. Yeah? And you will see, you will be better next year with the next examination, because it was the 9th class, you know, and the 10th class is an examination. You will see, you don't want to end up like your father, working in the night. No, don't you? No. He was very clever in his mind. So, and he did. And it happened that he got better. He didn't disturb the class. I mean, perhaps it could be that he has fallen in love with me at the end of 29, you know, and he was 16. But I had my little kids waiting in my car every day. I was not interested in all these stories, you know. So, and then he began to tell me about a dream. Every week he came, he had the same dream. In this dream, he was falling into a tube. At the end of
Tunnel. Into a tunnel.
Tunnel. Okay, into a tunnel. And at the end of the tunnel, there was a light. So I said to him, go to follow this light. And he said, okay. I thought, you know, perhaps this light will guide you somewhere. I had no idea what this meaning was, you know. And every week he came and he said, this light is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And at the end of 3-4 months, the light was off. And I went to our principal, the main principal, our chief of the school, and said, we need a psychotherapist for this boy. I am a woman, you know, I have no idea, you know, what to do with a boy like this. And he said, okay, we will take care of something. But it, you know how it is, it takes months to get something. Oh God, it shouldn't cost anything. Nobody shouldn't know it, etc., etc., etc. So, and then the holidays began, the summer holidays began, and at the end of school, you know, the last day, he said to me, "What shall I do the next 6 weeks of holiday?" You know, I knew that they don't go for holiday or somewhere. But I said, you know, you go day by day to this library and study so that you will have next year a better school year. But I don't know what happened at the beginning of the next school year. I was told, the director told us that he had committed suicide. So, and I said, his dream, I couldn't help him. I had no idea what to help him. And there was no one there who helped him either. So, and at this, I took the dream as an offer, no, so as an advice to myself. I said, okay, I have to do something else. I thank this boy for helping me to change something. Yeah. And then I began with just to study, first of all, Heilpraktiker in Germany. It's like a small kind of studio.
Naturopath, yeah.
Naturopath, okay.
Yeah.
Yes. And there I learned homeopathy. And due to that, I try to understand always the depth behind it. Yeah, he was in a deep situation of going already downhill, but I didn't know what to do. What would I have done? What would I have given him? I often wondered, what would I have given? Yeah.
But then with homeopathy, you got the tools to do something.
Yes, sure. Due to that, I learned. So even a dream of someone else can help us. Yeah. And this is important to understand. Any dream will tell you something to help you a little bit forward, but not only the dream, even the physical body will tell you. Yeah, the physical body will give you advices what to do, because the disease itself, it's not something what should disappear. This disease should be integrated into the whole of the person, as the dream should be integrated into the completeness of the person. And that's why it's important to listen to the dreams. But the dream has to have something on the line, on the red line.
It's part of the continuity of the whole case, right?
Yes, sure. It often reflects the trauma of a patient.
So, Anne, when I get cases, you know, and our students write about the dreams of a patient, there's often this thing that, oh, they dream of snakes, right? So that they use that rubric, right? Or anything like that, or spiders or wild animals or whatever it is. So this is like a direct translation from the word to the rubric. And that I know doesn't really work.
No,
So,
it can't work because
right.
you know I have conducted so many provings, yeah, and every prover who dreams something, you know, this will end up in our repertory. This dream has something to do with the prover himself too. In my provings, I often ask the provers, what does it dream mean to you? Because then you understand more the depth of the remedy. Because this remedy, the dream comes from the remedy, but from the prover, through the prover, not from, through the prover. And so this is not so easy. And when you say you dream of sex also, then the question in the patient, what has this to do? Tell me about this in your life. Because only then you understand what but you can use a dream rubric in other circumstances. For example, a patient, this is an old case, I have shown it already quite a few times. The patient had an inflammation at the granuloma at the teeth, at the root of the teeth. Yeah, and she said, I want to get rid of the tooth. The tooth. They should remove the tooth. Because she said, this tooth is dead. I don't want to have any dead body in my. It's an interesting thing. She's saying, I better take an implantation instead of a dead tooth. Oh, okay. I said, okay, that's interesting. Usually they say, you know, we want to have the nerve removed, and even if the tooth is dead, you know, it is better to have have the original tooth instead of an implantation. But she said the opposite. Very interesting. I said, tell me about this. She said, yes, this is how I feel. I don't want to have anything dead in my body. Tell me about that. And she's saying, let me see, let me find this. This is already long. She's saying, dead is not alive. Okay, because, you know, I like that people interpret what they are saying, you know. Dead is not alive. What is when dead is, tell me about what is when dead, I have this on video, I remember that. When dead is not alive, yeah. It's like, you know, tell me about this teeth. She said, I mean, it's like, being buried alive. This is what I can't stand in my life. Buried alive, you know, in this moment, I use the dream of buried alive. This exists in our repertory.
But it does not exist as delusion, right?
No,
So,
it
so
does
you
not
use the
exist,
dream.
but
So
you
you
can
use the
use,
dream.
yeah, you can use the dream instead of the dream rubric instead of the delusion, because this is a delusion. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just would like to ask a clarifying question for myself. Someone who utilizes dream work in my clinical practice, what I'd like to understand from a homeopathy perspective, like when Barbara says, you know, the person says, I dream of snakes, you can't automatically say they fear snakes. That's wrong. Where you could ask, as I think I heard you say, you could ask them, what does that snake represent? How does that make you feel? So that you can bring out what is happening for them in the physical world. at the conscious level. Is that correct or not correct?
Yeah, that is correct, because then the snake has the snake behavior of the snake, not the person, because the physical body is only showing in symptoms what is the energetic part. I mean, it is not, I am not a snake, or the person is not a snake, yeah, but the tendency of a snake, because the snake can make you angry or anxious or so this is, I mean, I was surrounded, patients, I remember patients surrounded by snakes, and how do you feel in this situation? Yeah, I felt safe, or I felt endangered, or they're going to bite me. Did they bite? No, they didn't bite. How was it in the dream? How was the energy? Like you do with exactly with any symptom. The patient tells you, I have a stomach ache. You tell, what is the sensation? What is it? We call it the Erleben. Yeah. What do you sense in it? Yeah. Go into your stomach. Tell me. And the same as dream of snakes, or dream of avalanches, or whatsoever. How is this to be in an avalanche? Oh, you will be suffocated. Tell about suffocation. Yeah.
Okay.
Where do you feel the suffocation? Here. So the avalanche doesn't mean anything, but the suffocation is behind it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, thank you, because that just helps me clarify what I was trying to just feel was how to articulate that bringing out those symptoms to then, create potential rubrics. So, because dreams are very abstract, oftentimes I have to remind people it's like, this isn't logical, you know. So thank you.
No, I mean, actually, dreams and delusion are similar. Yeah. Because when a patient tells you, my stomach is like a knife in my stomach. I mean, do you see a knife? Yeah. It's just a sensation, as if you have a knife in your stomach. And due to that, it's good to explain people who do not understand anything about homeopathy. You can tell them, patients will tell you things you can't see in a way, yeah, because normal medicine treats reality with reality remedies, but we homeopaths, we don't have matter, our remedies are not matter, so our remedies are only energetic situations, or just nothing, yeah. And so we have to understand even those kind of symptoms. Everybody will understand. Oh my God, how can someone talk about this snake or a spider or whatsoever? Because for example, if you dream about a spider, perhaps that behind it is anxiety. Talk about anxiety, but it could talk about that you are courageous, you are jumping somewhere. Yeah, the spider is jumping somewhere, so the spider is not important, but the jump is important, or this is important. Thank you for the question. Is this clear what I said?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions regarding this?
Or maybe examples.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So in terms of the shadow side, is awareness of it, which in a sense the remedy facilitates, or the consultation facilitates, is that enough to make the integration?
Sometimes yes, sometimes not, but you're right, it's to show the shadow, to reflect it. I mean, it is not only it is not only you just listen, you give the right remedy, and everything will be done. It doesn't happen in my case. It's better the reflection, to reflect it, to say, yeah, okay, I understand. Yeah, tell me more about it. This is the most important sentence to go. What I often do in the reflection, I take one word and tear it, into different kind of directions, so that the reflection gets broader. Because even patients who went to psychotherapy, they know a lot, yeah? They have understood a lot, but it is not reflected enough. It began in the 90s of last century. A woman came, psychotherapist or psychoanalyst, but she could hardly walk. She could not put her legs apart. She walking like this. So, and I said, what is this? And she said, yes, I know what it is. I have 20 years of psychoanalysis, I know it's a sexual abuse in my childhood. Yeah. And what happened? She said, I don't know. But the physical body did not react to the recognition or to the awareness. She needed a remedy in order to get better, but it took long. It took very long. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not so easy, when the patient's story is 40 years old, like it began with birth, in my understanding, I don't know how you see it. Everything begins either intrauterine or at birth or at the first year, because then the whole story will come. Usually, I listen to the beginning patient say, oh, I have this complaint and joint pain or whatsoever. And then I say, okay, go back into your life. What are the moments you remember in your life? And most of the times I say, begin at the moment when you were conceived. What do you know about it? Oh, I don't know. Okay. Then go on, whatever you know. But it is not important that we know everything, because if you understand the whole story, it will always come. It will always happen. Everything will be the same story, either the dream or the life story. You will continuously follow your own inner thread, your own. Look at yourself. Yeah? You can see when you look at yourself, you can say, aha, I'm doing the same story, I do the same always. And this is a reflection, yeah? Then you say, aha, okay, that's interesting. I know this story. Yeah. The story is always the same. Not saying it is wrong and I should change it. Don't change anything. Don't change. Just get only aware of it. Say, aha. Reflect it in your inner story. Say, aha. That's why I say 3 letters only can heal. A,
H,
H,
A.
A, it means, aha. Oh, you lift your left eyebrow and say, ha ha. And this is how I see patients, I'm waiting for it, waiting for once one word I can't combine. Something strange with this word, you know, tell me about this word. And you will see in that moment the whole story will come. But you have to wait, like a cat is waiting in front of the hole of a mouse. You know, it will come. It will come. Just wait for it. And when you jump on this word or on this dream, and you pull it like this, in that moment the patient soul will open up and will reflect it. If you know, in the 80s we had dream books, you know, you look, I dream of a street, it means this. I dream of a car, it means this. Dream over this, it means this. This is rubbish, because it has nothing to do with you. The dream has something to do with you. Yeah, and we homeopaths have to understand this, and that's why the dream in our repertoire, the dream rubrics are interesting, but very good rubrics, but only to use as delusions. To summarize it.
Anne, do you think it's helpful for homeopaths to get familiarized with Jung's?
Yeah, you know,
I know you are very.
Jung, you know, I love Jung's idea. You know, when I met Edward Whitman in 1997 or 8 in Germany, he has been has done an analysis, psychoanalysis with Siggy Jung. You know, he knows Jung very well, and he says Jung did not like homeopathy. Why not? Because Jung thought we homeopaths will take away the story of patients' problems without making them aware what's going on in them. I said it doesn't work. To be very honest, it doesn't work. You can't take away it. It is a delusion. This is a delusion of a homeopath, that we take away the stories which are there in order to grow. You know, every life story is there in order to grow. A problem, even a physical problem, is only there in order to learn something from it. Because, I mean, by that time, homeopaths were telling, you know, I mean, it is true. Sometimes in acute cases, you give a remedy and it will disappear. It is beautiful. But if this is not the real cure inwardly, it will come on in another level. This is what we experience day by day in our clinic, right? So Jung has not completely integrated the homeopathic understanding. But it is a difference between psychotherapy and homeopathy, because we are lucky to have the energy and the rule of the similarity, the Ähnlichkeitsgesetz, the similarity. If we understand the energy of the pattern of the remedy and the energy of the pattern of the patient and the energy of the remedy, and we match this, then something can appear. Because you know why it is like this? Because the energy of the patient is low, and the energy of the homeopathic remedy, yeah, is bigger, higher, clearer, and so it will come together, and then it can open up another story. Like I said with this causticum patient, it opened up the whole story. I can go on with this, yeah, saying, okay, you go on with this. It will more come up. It will more come up, which was suppressed already in childhood, etc., etc. So homeopathic treatment is a cure. Wie is it in a cure? How do you call it in German? Kur. Hahnemann says it, you know. It is not a remedy and happily forever after. It's a cure. It's a process. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is it
And-
a cure?
Huh?
A cure?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a cure.
Cure.
But a
Yeah,
cure
cure.
and a cure is a little bit different. Like
Yeah,
a cure
cure.
means it's healed. And a
Yeah.
cure is when you go to a sanatorium and you do water treatments and massage and you do all these different things. That means you are going to a cure. So it's a process of different steps, you know, while a cure usually means they're cured, they're better.
One
In
takes,
English, yeah.
takes the cure. One takes the cure by going to salt
Yes.
spring, taking the
Yeah.
cure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Taking
that
it.
way it works.
Yeah.
In
Yes.
English novels, they do it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, and this is important. We have to understand this. You know, that's why I'm never desperate when the patient tells me in the follow-up, I'm not better. Oh, no problem, you know, because in order to help this, we need time. We can't change immediately. We need time. You know, that's why I can't understand why the homeopaths don't have a big clinic, because you have to know that you're carrying people through their life. Slowly, and new symptoms will appear, and you say, okay, we look at the new symptoms, because there is no other way of cure. I used to say, homeopathy is not everything. But without homeopathy, something very important is missing. I mean, I have so many patients who go to chemotherapy, radiation, vaccination, whatsoever. I don't care at all, because I can't treat like this. The medical doctors are doing it perfectly, no problem. Even if I sometimes can see it's too dangerous, but anyway, the patient is mature enough to decide it himself. I'm not the one who knows it better, but I want to know what is behind it. Like, for example, someone tells me, I have mama carcinoma, breast cancer. Okay, I want to undergo chemotherapy, operation, chemotherapy, radiation. I said, okay. Can you help me? Yes, we have to understand why the physical body tries to do this, you know, to go and find this. Why does the physical body express a lump in your breast? What is this? So then the patients are interested. They say, okay, we'll come. And tell them, you know, it's not easy done. I am not the one who is clairvoyant to tell you where it is. No, I'm not clairvoyant at all. Let's find this out together. We continue, talk. Tell me about your life. What happened to you? What was before? Why? Yeah, and when it was before, you go back and back and back. And this is so important for our society. Homeopaths are so important for our society. Not because they cure everything, they guide everybody. Because guidance is missing in this material world. And it's important. But for this, you have to be strong inwardly. Trust yourself. Not trust that you can cure them. Trust yourself and saying, I am there. I'm just here. I'm standing here. This is it. Not thinking I don't know enough, or I should know something. I mean, it's completely not necessary that you know everything. Nobody in our life knows everything. You know, did I tell you about the first experience in my daily clinic? I just had open up my clinic after 3 years of studying homeopathy and naturopath and psychotherapy, etc. Years. So, and I was invited to a party. At this party was the director of the broadcasting company in Bavaria. You know, we have these parts, you know, as you have the countries here in America, we have this little parts, Bavaria, Rheinland-Pfalz,
Yeah, different states.
Different states, thank you, different states. So, and he said, oh, I've heard, you know, I was told that you were doing something with these little tiny globules. Yeah, I said, he said, you know, he said, I was, one family was sailing around the world, and the broadcasting company was broadcasting it, you know, doing a film about this sailing around the world. So he, as a boss, flew to some of the islands, South Sea, Südsee, South Sea Island, where they just anchored, you know, in order to visit them. And they said, in that moment, I entered the ship, I got dizzy, you know. And since then, I'm dizzy, constantly dizzy. I can hardly walk. Yeah. Oh, I said, you are in Germany, we call this dizziness Schwinde. And it's the same word for not
Or lying.
saying the truth. Okay. Okay. So I said to him, you are not a liar. Schwindel is not a liar.
Not a liar, but not telling the truth, yeah, or telling different truths.
Truth. You know, I know this. I know him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So very open, friendly guy. And he said, so, and when I came home from the South Sea, you know, I went to all the professors here, because a very important person, to all the professors here, and nobody could find something for me, you know, because it's difficult to find something for vertigo, yeah, for dizziness, for vertigo. So, and I don't know what to do. Do you have some little tiny pills? He said, okay, I can give you something. So I thought this, I mean, by that time, I know perhaps 50 or 60 remedies, you know, calcarea, carbonica, lycopodium, sulfur, phosphor, tuberculinum. I mean, perhaps only 20 or 30 remedies. This is what I know a little bit. You know how it is at the beginning? Yeah? Yeah. So, and I said, this guy, as far as I can see, he needs phosphorus, you know, open, free. Yeah, you know what I said, with a little bit of, yeah, so nice women, yeah, okay. So I said, yeah, I can try to give you something. By that time I had only phosphorus 30C. I had nothing else. So I gave him phosphorus 30C, and guess what happened? The vertigo disappeared. Yeah, okay. Wow, he said, wow, you are perfect. You are great. I mean, remember, he's boss of broadcasting company. So, and in the different parts of Germany, yeah, they meet, you know, meet as conferences. And, you know, everybody knew it in Germany that he has this problem. So, and he was asked at the next conference, how is your dizziness? He said, disappeared. 3 a daily phosphorus 30C from Anne Schadde, and it disappeared. So guess what happened? The next director, secretary called me, you know, secretary, can I have an appointment, you know? So, and this guy came, you know, I had stomach pain, etc. Yeah. I only know Nux vomica, but this was for sure not a Nux vomica story. But it didn't help, you know, nothing helped further for other people. It means it's like a kind of blessing. It was a blessing for me and a blessing for him. It happened, but you can't make a rule out of it. Yeah, see what I mean? This is what I'm telling all the time. I'm saying, okay, you can have so much luck. Last year, or was it last year or the year before, I showed the presentation of the autoimmune diseases. Yeah, it is on your. Did I show it? Yeah, remember?
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah, there was this patient. You can see it if you're interested in this beautiful presentation, because this patient is perfectly cured. This can happen. Okay, the patient who had the myelitis transversa, she could not walk anymore, and she had already patches in her like multiple sclerosis, yeah, inflammations of her brain. I mean, she was severely sick, and after 1 year of homeopathic remedies, everything has disappeared. So this patient, now it is 12 years old, she still comes to see me after 12 years or 13 years more, no, or 14 years. It's even a follow-up of this patient on the presentation. So, and our broadcasting company has invited people with trauma. She was traumatized. I showed this. I've shown this on this presentation. You can see it on your website, or
I have to check it. I'm not sure if it's on the student page or if it's on the public page. I have to go check
no,
it.
not on the public, more only on the student page.
Yeah, right.
Private on the student page. So you can ask for to show it. So yeah, if you are interested in, ask Barbara to give you the clue, or what we call
the
it,
link.
for this.
The link, yeah, if I have it, yeah, I have to check it.
Yeah, because, yeah. So, but she was asked, she was traumatized as a child, yeah? And this traumatization was a part of a presentation in our broadcasting. You know, they have all this Sendungen, this
TV shows, series, yeah.
TV shows also. And this TV show had to do with traumatization. She was invited to this, but the company, the broadcasting company, has said she is not allowed to tell anybody who has helped her, because that is impossible, you know. So, but the broadcasting company sent her inquiries, you know, because after the presentation, after the show, the broadcasting company got questions from people who has seen this presentation. So
basically because it was a paralyzed person that now could walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A paralyzed person who now could walk, after we understood. You have to see, this is such a beautiful case, you know, because when she said, she came to me, I didn't know this person at all. She said, the paralysis of my body is a paralysis of my life. So I said, tell me more about it. And she said, you know, my life is paralyzed. So I said, now you tell me about this. Is this paralyzing? I mean, to be honest, can you see this? I mean, what she's saying made it, she's showing something completely different than saying. So, and we
have an interruption. Oh, okay, it's good.
Yeah, when she's showing this, a fist, I said, tell me about this fist. This is anger. This is anger. This is hidden anger. She was traumatized as a child. Her father was Indian, mother was German, and he entführen.
He kidnapped her.
He kidnapped, the father kidnapped the children to India. And then 2 years later, but then they got, father was a medical doctor, so the upper class family in India, she has a beautiful life. Then mother came, made a process, a lawsuit against the father.
Lawsuit, yes.
Lawsuit against the father. So she took the children back to Germany. But here in Germany, life was hard. And mother was so angry towards father. So her trauma was kidnapped from India to Germany, not kidnapped from Germany to India, because she was very in love with her father. I mean, even if the father kidnapped the children, the trauma was coming back to Germany. Living there in India in this beautiful area, yeah, in the upper class, and then coming back to Germany, living here in the cold weather, and yeah,
Little apartment.
Yeah, little apartment, going into boarding school. In India, they were something special, yeah. And so it was the anger towards. Here was the anger hidden, and that moment she understood this. Yes, what is this? In that moment, opened up, and I gave her by that time a stone remedy, a gemstone. Yeah, because she was like a gem, like very refined person. So, and this, changed it. But I wanted to say something else. That's why I'm saying this.
So they,
this she said at the in the television. She said, yeah, and I got cured, and I can walk, and I can hike, can bike, cycle, everything fine. So. And the broadcasting company asked her, there are so many people writing to her. Who wrote to her? Handicapped people who were sitting in wheelchairs. And she said to me, can I give your address to the other, I said, okay, only 3. I will try 3 of them. But all 3, I couldn't help at all. Yeah? Because they were all over Germany, yeah. I could see them only via Zoom, yeah. They couldn't understand the whole. I tried to help them in their story, but they didn't want. It was not the moment when it could open up like it was with her. It was the moment when it could open up. It is like her soul said, okay, I'm ready for it. But so I'm not punishing myself because of that. I knew that it's going to happen like this. I knew it.
So Anne, do you think that, or how can a dream open up a case?
It open up because it will tell the story about what I said before. Not like you said, a snake or so. You can go with, you take it as a kind of line, yeah. You say, tell me more about a snake. Tell me more about what happened there, but not the dream in person. The dream, the energy of a dream. For me, is important. The energy of a dream. You can hike, but what is your sensation in it? Not the dream as a person, I'm hiking up the stairs. No, what is the energy while you are hiking? Why are you hiking? What is the reason behind it? And this will open the case, always.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What do you have advice? So this is a follow-up to those 3 cases of people in wheelchairs that you couldn't help. And do you have advice for cases where you have a client and they say they don't dream ever? There's no dreams. And when you try to go through their life from, birth to whatever age they're at now and ask for any sort of significant events or anything to give you any kind of clues, and there's nothing. They give you nothing. They're just like, everything was fine. There's no events in my life, nothing I can remember. Yet they're in pain right now and can barely move and want help. but it's like you just can't get anything out of them, and there's no dreams. What do you do in those cases?
Yeah, then you go to repertory. You just repertorize all the symptoms. And you give one remedy what appears to you obvious. So, and then you wait for the remedy to open up something. Because when you give something, it's like, this is what I learned through provings, that in provings, when you take something, what you don't know at all, then the soul can open up. You have just triggered the soul. Perhaps then a dream will come. Yeah. But in the follow-up, that's why I'm saying, don't give up after the first remedy. You just, okay, everything is fine. Oh, I like those people. Everything is fine. Nothing happened. It's impossible. But, okay, go on with it. Say, okay, then you open repertory. You just repertorize. You give her like a podium, sulfur, tuya, whatsoever.
Okay.
And then you will see it will do something. Yeah, but be aware and say, okay, what happened after you take the remedy? Because sometimes I don't even know why I give it and what happened, but in the next follow-ups, they will tell you something. Even if you don't know the story anymore, the story will come up. And sometimes the story will come up from a different side. And it is as if, and this is the beauty of homeopathy, that with the homeopathic remedy, we change something, even if we don't change it in the complete right direction, but it will come something. And you have to trust yourself, saying, okay, I give her now suya and we will see. Okay? And then she will come, or he will come and tell you something from a completely different side. Or saying, oh, but I forgot last time to tell you that this happened, because not everybody has his biography in his brain, I mean, in a way, what we are doing here is biography work. Yeah, we working, and to work on your biography is so important for everybody, for you, for all of us. Yeah, because biography means you get aware of what you said here before. Here you said that you get aware. Okay, you open up, you recognize something, you say, aha, this is something in my life. Why does it happen to me? Because now I understand something, what has to do with me. And your own awareness as a therapist, your own awareness will help the patient to open up. I mean, this is the rule of similarity, Only if you understand something, the patient will understand. I mean, this is what can I see with me too. In that moment I understand something, the patient will understand something too, with his story, not with my story. I don't want to interfere this.
So how do you understand when people say they don't dream? Why do some people not see dreams?
They are not aware at all of their story. They have no clue about what's going on in them. So it's a lot of work, I tell you. I mean, bring them, but you will, I used to say, I get paid due to that, to open you up like a can, huh? Like a can. You open the can, and they should pay you for open up, for being open up, getting opened up. Yeah. I mean, you have to make a business out of it. Being there, saying, okay, whenever something happened to you, tell me. And then, the universe will tell them, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, clear?
Yes, just need lots of patience. Need lots of patience for us and for them, because they have heard that homeopathy can do these miracles, and then they get frustrated that it's not doing anything.
Yeah, right. But because I don't want to. I mean, that's why I'm actually, even if I show at conferences miracle cases, but it is not true. But my clinic is full, but not because of the miracle cases, because of the cases, because of the patient who want to learn something, want to see something, want to grow. Because, and you have to offer this, saying, oh, we have to understand your complete life. They have the feeling that when you understand something, you learn something. Yeah. And you can change the remedy. Don't stick to one remedy. I mean, it can be that you. I talked recently to a patient whom I have given 18 years ago one remedy, and she's taken this remedy for 18 years, twice a year or something like this. These are rare cases, very rare cases. And she said, but she said to me, I said, is this a remedy you had? Oh yes, the remedy helped me, but my understanding of the whole story, this helped me. The homeopathic remedy was just Begleitung, accompanying this,
accompanying her process.
Accompanying the process. After in this 18 years, my God, I can tell you whatever I learned. Huh? Something like this. And not saying the homeopath, that's why I said, that's why Jung's, Edward Whitman said it is difficult because Jung didn't like it because it was not integrated, that the whole process was not integrated into the whole being. And then, the best thing is one symptom disappears and another symptom comes. This is the best, because then the vital force will tell you, okay, you did this, and don't call it suppression. Just call it, the vital force is very vital, will bring it up. For example, they come with coryza. The coryza disappeared, all of a sudden the joints get pain. Okay, because, oh my God, I suppressed the coryza and the joint pain. Oh no, I don't see it like this. I see, okay, I have not understood it completely. Okay, tell more about this, the joints. Yeah. And then go on with the joints. And finally, you will end up with a coryza somewhere, because the universe is a miracle. Yeah? And just go on. Don't tell yourself this was yet wrong. Right and wrong is something what does not exist in the spiritual world, because the spiritual world and the homeopathic remedy is just not matter. Matter is always right and wrong. Matter is right and wrong. But the spirit is never right and wrong. It's always just this. Neither right nor wrong. It's both or nothing. I better say nothing. Okay? So it means if something appears, you just go on with it. And if you have the rules in your brain, and if this appears, oh, I have suppressed something, you get stuck. Mm-hmm. But if you tell yourself, okay, I have to go deeper, I have to understand something better and more, etc. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, good. Any other questions? Ask questions. You like to answer. I like to answer questions.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Related to this case you were talking about, the woman who lost her husband, who believed he was such an angel. Normally, we believe that if we give a remedy and the mental state is worsening, it's a bad sign. But I can imagine that in such a situation, a person could go into depression because she lost something ideal, something she believed was beautiful. Do you agree with it? That then this depression would be rather a part of the healing, not a worsening?
Yeah, it could be the suppression is a kind of compensation. I wouldn't call it suppression. I don't like this word suppression. I like it compensation. You compensate. Your mind is very tricky. The difference between between emotion and sensation. Emotion of mind strategies. The emotion says, oh, he is perfect. But the physical body is carrying the sensation. That's why Hahnemann is saying sensation and functions, because if the mind, like for example, in this case, the mind has told her this was a perfect guy, but the physical body is telling, no, 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 you suffered from him when he had this. So it is not a suppression. But, even if I could see it underneath already, I'm not telling, but I'm waiting for the vital force to show it through the physical body. Was it answered your question, or what is missing?
I was wondering more about that. In this case, I would, it's possible, not necessarily, different people react different ways, but I can imagine that when people lose this beautiful delusion they had, that were like keeping them in the difficult situation, they could go through very opposite, like depressive state when they...
Yeah, sure.
And in this situation, this depression, this lower mental state would be actually healing, because it's like letting it out, right? It's processing the thing.
Yeah, the truth will come. And all of a sudden you can open up, because the depression in her was strong, the depression. Yeah, she was in a very depressed state, because she suppressed it, the anger. Causticum has a lot of anger, yeah? The anger, and it ended up in weakness and inability to walk, etc. Yeah. So I mean, it is like, this is what I mean. You don't even have to say it, in the, you just give a remedy, and the remedy will do something, even if it doesn't heal it here. It made her, but only this finger. I mean, I was surprised. I said, okay, your vital force is very vital. Yeah. Very honest. I mean, what an honest vital force to show it. I'm always these are the miracles. Actually, these are the miracles. Yeah, this is a miracle. Wow, unbelievable. Yeah. And this is not a miracle. It's not when something is wrong and you give the remedy, it disappears. It can be, but a miracle is when the vital force jumps, when the vital force moves, because the vital force is vital. It's not stuck, Cure cannot be, cannot be static, because life is lively. Life is dynamic. That's why Hahnemann is saying the dynamic vital force. It's a process. So cure cannot be stuck. Stuck is dead.
So Anne, what you're saying is cure is just the next step, right?
Yeah.
So when with this question just now, and I hear this in supervision. So I give this person has a mental problem, they're sad all the time, whatever, and I gave them that Muir, and now they're really bad off. Now their mental state is worse. So can you, through a high potency, make a bad mental state even worse? This is often the question I get. And
Yeah,
yes,
so-
you can,
Sure,
but
because yeah.
what you're saying is then you just work with that next step, what's happening
Yes.
now.
Yes, yes. I mean, I suggest every beginner to begin with every case with Natrium muriaticum, because this will open up every case. Because everybody has any story behind it. Have you ever seen a patient without a story of Natrium muriaticum? I mean, so in that moment it will open up, yeah, because they will tell you always those kind of stories.
And could I say something in regard to Alicia's comment? What I've seen typically after thuja is a very inauthentic state, extremely inauthentic. Very commonly after you give thuja, something authentic will come up, but it will not be pleasant. It will be, you can call it depression or, very often natrium sulfurica, but the transition is to something authentic, which then you can address. But thuja is extremely inauthentic, and that's not a good place to be.
Yeah, sure. So, or you can give thuja. Why not? If your experience is to give thuja in order to you see all these authentic tendencies, why not? Even if it is not the right remedy, something will come, because the vital force is vital, will show through the physical body. The vital force has only one possibility to show it through the physical body. And then interesting, yeah, yes, this is how I do it for the last 38 years or 39 years, 90, yeah. So, and this is successful. I mean, I don't mean successful with miracle, successful with working with human mankind, because we only here in order to help human mankind a little bit further. Yeah. Hahnemann was Freemason. Yeah, Freemason. And what is the obligation of a Freemason? The Freemason are working on the whole world construction of the temple of the world. And everybody has his own stone, because Freemason has to do with stones, with Maurer, with masons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? To work on your own stone, to put it into the whole world temple. And we are working for this temple too. And we are helping every patient to work on their own stone for the temple. And we are not having miracles to cure them. We are just helping them to work on their own stones. And please, if I can give this to you, yeah, so then homeopathy will get broader in life. I wish you a huge clinic like I have from day to because I'm working like this. Be there for the patient. Be there. This is what the patient tell me. You are always there whenever something is going to happen. Yes, I'm there. And I give something. Oh my God. And this helps or not. As I said before, I'm not telling, I can tell you only the successful case, but it wouldn't help you. It would make you small. No. I don't care at all. When it doesn't help, I go ahead. I continue. I tell the patient, sometimes I'm working only with the first interview, and give one remedy, it doesn't help, then I give another remedy again. And then I say, okay, no, I got to see you again. This is what they like, because they have seen me working on this, but it didn't help. Okay, go on. This morning, it was a Saturday, the woman yesterday called me, said, I'm not getting better. I said to come tomorrow morning on Saturday, because I don't have any other time. I have to come. And then she said, oh, this is so nice, because, I'm working. So yeah, why shouldn't you come on Saturday morning? And then we found something completely new. Yeah. I mean, I said, what have I done in all the interviews before? Yeah. It's, oh, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Or perhaps, I mean, it is not us who cure, as I said before. It's the vital force of the patient who cures. And when the vital force is not ready to get cured, you can do whatever you want, it will not happen. Even if I was listening to her for already 3 times, I've seen her 3 times, but very difficult life situation. But nobody else could help her. So many people, nobody else can help. And we can be of a help, not that we cure them miracle-wise. We help them to go through it. And that's why I like it, actually, when they then go to this therapist and this therapist and this, and then medicine, normal medicine. I like it, okay? Yeah. Oh, I've been there, I've been there, I've been there, I've been there. Okay, but still not better. Oh my God, then you come again. Don't be offended, not at all. Accept it as it is, say, okay. Because perhaps at this step they have learned this, you know, they have learned this. They went to hypnosis in order to get rid of the smoking. I said, what did you learn from this? Yeah, I learned this and this. I mean, in a way, you have to use what they learned. They went to examinations in medical examinations. What have you learned? Sometimes even the medical doctor will say one sentence and you can integrate this. You have to be flexible. Don't stick to homeopathy. Just to learn, okay, what did this do to you, what the medical doctor tell you? Because you can do everything in life, but without the vital force, or without your soul, nothing will happen.
Anne, should we leave it there? Are there any more questions?
I will come again, don't worry about it.
Yes.
Tell you all the time the same story.
In different ways.
In different ways, right?
I don't have a question. I just want to say this is very inspiring. Thank you, Anna.
Yeah,
Yes,
welcome.
truly. Hurry back.
Hurry back.
I will come back, promise.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, all of you.
It was great.
Bye.
Thanks, Barbara. Thanks,
Go
Bill.
ahead.